Cane fields aren't usually the first thing that spring to mind when we think of V8 supercar racing, but it's here where the process of creating ethanol E85 fuel begins, using the byproducts associated with making sugar. And not only does E85 have far less emissions than oil-based fuel, here in far north Queensland, the manufacturing process at CSR is the most environmentally friendly in the world. It's a pretty sweet deal all round.
I think it's a really good initiative because it's a renewable energy. I think E85 will become a world standard, time will tell, and I think it's just quite a good solution just to how we go about our racing.
Here on the outskirts of Mackay, sugarcane is harvested from June to November each year and transported to the mill in nearby Serena. The cane is shredded and then milled 5 times to squeeze the juice out. This juice goes on to be processed into sugar crystals, and what is left over is a thick brown substance called molasses. At the adjoining distillery, the molasses is mixed with water and yeast in giant fermentation tanks, which converts the remaining sugar into ethanol. It's then distilled to separate the impurities. Before it can be used by V8 supercars, the ethanol is tested in the lab to ensure it meets the standards for 99.7% fuel-grade ethanol.
Sugarcane contains about 3% molasses. That's this thick brown gooey stuff here. And from 1 litre of molasses, you end up with about 250 mils or 1 cup of ethanol. So what does it take to fuel a V8 supercar? Well, to fill a 120-litre tank, you'd need about 480 litres of molasses, and that equates to about 16 tonnes of sugarcane. That's about 4 of those bins.
In conjunction with V8 supercars, Stone Brothers Racing Engineering has been working on adapting the existing V8 engine to run E85 fuel.
Started by soaking O-rings and stuff in fuel, all the way to analysing the fuel to actually running engines on it and seeing what those engines needed to make it work.
Team Vodafone's Craig Lowndes is one of the first drivers in the field to drive a V8 supercar using the new ethanol E85 fuel.
The biggest noticeable difference for us is the smell of the fueling. It's a little bit sweeter smell than what we're currently running. So, that's the biggest change for drivers. The car was running just as strong as our current ones, and lap times and all that sort of stuff was comparable. The horsepower, from what Campbell's telling me, is the same. It hasn't really affected us that much.